everybody, my name is Kira.
My name is Linda, and today we're going to be talking about our 13 favourite moments from all 3 Hunger Games movies that are out right now. This is before we've seen Mockingjay Part 2.
As we said in our previous video about the Hunger Games, we're doing these videos just as a way for us to say goodbye to one of our favourite trilogies. We're gonna go through our favourite moments throughout these movies, the ones that kind of stood out most to us, just memorable moments from the movies that we enjoyed. These are in no particular order because we're really indecisive and we couldn't choose what order to put them in. And warning, if you have not seen all 3 movies that are out right now, we will be discussing them all and spoiling moments, so don't watch this video yet.
Come back after you've seen all.
So the first one is a very easy choice for us.
Yeah.
It's like one of our all-time favorite scenes, and it's just every time we feel like crying, it's just so moving and emotional. And it is the hanging tree from Mockingjay Part 1. I get chills every time that the rebels join in with Katniss and her voice just kind of merges into theirs. Yeah. And then just that whole scene where they sacrifice themselves knowing that they're going to die.
They knew they'd die no matter what when they were planting the bombs. And it was just so heartbreaking.
It just makes us really emotional, and that's why it had to make it onto this list without a doubt.
The second moment we chose was from the very first movie, The Hunger Games.
Memories.
And it was when Katniss and Peter were sitting on the roof the night before they went into the Hunger Games, and they had that conversation. He didn't want anyone to be changing him, and he didn't want the games to change him.
And it's just really upsetting foreshadowing for the 3rd book, because we all know that that's exactly what happened. Another favourite moment of ours is also from the first movie, and it's one that wasn't actually in the book. And it is when Katniss and Peter are both about to take the Nightlock berries so that they can commit a double suicide, and they have their little moment with together. And I just love that moment because it reminded me of the Stay With Me Always and Real or Not Real, and it was just kind of one of those moments that the movies actually made up, which is now iconic.
So the next one that we're going to talk about, which is one of our personal favourite moments ever, is when Katniss and Peter are sitting on the back of the train going towards District 11 for the victory tour, and they're sitting there and they're in the tunnel, and Peeta talks to her about their favourite colours, and it was so adorable!
And just because it reflects what happens then in Mockingjay, where that's kind of how they connect again, when he says that her favourite colour is green and she reminds him that his is sunset orange, and then that leads into the whole, like, one of our favourite moments ever, where Katniss goes into the whole speech of you're a painter, you're a baker.
Wait, did we mention that?
No, because it's in
No,
2.
It's one of the ones we're looking forward to.
We're gonna discuss that one later.
Back in a minute.
The next moment, well, it's not really a moment, it's kind of like a montage. And it's the interviews in Catching Fire for the Quarter Quell when all of the victors are talking to Caesar, and it's just because we have Finnick talking about Annie, and then there's Joanna cursing.
Being me!
Being her usual self, which was amazing. And then we have Katniss, of course, with her Mockingjay dress, which I was dying to see ever since I read that book.
And then there's Peeta.
And then there's Peeta with his, if it wasn't for the baby. Just all of those interviews are so amazing because they're all different. It's like you just go through loads of different emotions.
The next one we're going to talk about is the Propo
from Mockingjay Part 1.
It was when Katniss was doing the staged propaganda piece, standing on the stage, fake flag, and trying to do the speech.
We must fight to end our hunger for justice!
And then Plutarch's reaction. And then Haymitch appears.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how a revolution dies.
Katniss's actual Propo piece is amazing.
And if we burn, you burn with us! Jennifer's acting, as usual, is always amazing, but especially in these 2 scenes, because in the one where she's doing the fake Propo, Jennifer has to act badly, and it's just the funniest thing watching Jennifer struggle to act, and it's just so amazing. And then obviously in the second one you're just crying.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
And this leads into our next one, which is when Finnick does his speech over the rescue mission.
That, for us, that was one of the most terrifying moments, because even though we had read the books, We knew exactly what was going to happen. We were still on the edge of our seat being like, are they okay? Like, did they change this? Are they going to die? What's going to happen? And it was just such an emotional scene, and how we kept swapping between Finnick and then going to the rescue, and then how Katniss was going crazy.
And then Snow cutting off all of it.
Then how he knew all the time that they were there, and her realization when she finds out that Snow knew.
Screaming.
This isn't on our favourites list, but I feel like it's worthy of a mention. That scene where Katniss goes into Peeta at the end of Mockingjay and that thing happens. It was just so amazing just to see these two, because we know that they're like the best friends and they're just joking around all the time.
Yeah.
But to see the change and them actually act that was unbelievable.
The only thing I can think of whenever I watch that scene now is that they were playing with syringes, squirting stuff at each other.
Anyway, that was off topic, but I just felt like we really needed to mention that. The next scene makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, because obviously Katniss and Peeta's relationship isn't the main
aspect of this story,
but it is a big part, and of course everyone was really excited about this scene. And it is
from Catching Fire,
the famous beach scene. The cave scene in the first movie was kind of a disappointment, but since we got Frances on board for Catching Fire, I was like, maybe there's hope for the beach scene, and I was right. They did it so well, and I just love the lighting in that scene. They said that they shot it for an hour over a couple of days because they had to get this certain time of day for the lighting, and it was so beautiful. And just the score during it and the way they acted it, it was just so amazing.
Kira's inner geek is coming out right now.
Why? What did I do? Oh, sorry.
You're so excited right now.
I know.
You're just like, the score and the lighting and the scene, oh my god, I love it!
I studied film in college, I'm sorry.
So the next moment we want to talk about is the bombing in 13, and especially when Katniss realizes that Prim isn't in the shelter yet and runs back outside because she realizes she forgot the cat.
I just love like the way she delivers that line. She's like, she went back to the cat. And she fell on the stairs and everyone started running over her. Oh my heart.
That was terrifying.
We just really love that scene because it's exciting, and this moment is probably one of the most iconic moments out of all of the movies, and I think it will still remain that way even when they finish. And it is in the very first movie when Katniss volunteers. And I think just even though people hadn't gotten attached to the characters or anything at that point, when people saw it for the first time, it was kind of just complete shock that this girl would volunteer to go into these games to save her sister, that their bond was that close that she would do that. And it was such a haunting scene when everything just goes silent. That scene to this day still gives me chills when I watch it.
Now the next one we get to talk about is the victory tour montage. The only part of the montage that stands out in my mind right now is when she's in 11, when the man steps up and does the whistle and the three-finger salute. Then he gets pulled forward by the peacekeepers and put on the stage and killed. That's all that's going through my head whenever I think of the victory tour montage.
The bit that stands out for me is when, obviously the speech that she makes about Rue and Thresh, but there's one bit, I can't remember what district it's in, but a little girl comes up to her to give her flowers, and she says, I want to be just like you. This isn't really a moment, it's various moments, but they kind of all connect. And it's all of the different events that happened with the clock arena, like the blood rain and the monkey mutts and the jabberjays. Obviously the first one is amazing because it's like the iconic one, like that was the first games, but the second one, all of the elements are just so much better. It's like a whole new level. And that is it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about all of our favorite moments, and if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more from us.
Comment down below what any of your favorite scenes were throughout all these movies.
We want to know what was most memorable for you guys so we can kind of all share together this last time before they end.
Okay, so until next time,
bye!
Are you coming to the tree where Dad may call out for his
The bit where Josh says,
Josh. Peter.
This next moment is probably one of the most.
Mice. Are you from Australia?
Apparently.
Mice.
This is how we warm up. Do do do